Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome to the first episode of the 3X podcast. Today we are going to be doing a mock draft hours before the draft starts. And honestly, by the time this gets uploaded, it will probably be right as the draft starts. So today we're just going to take a look at the draft. Before I start, I just wanted to bring up some breaking news. Aaron Rodgers does not want to be in Green Bay anymore. He has heard from inside that the Packers don't want him back. So he wants out of the organization, but they aren't in any eager or dire mood to trade him. And Tim Tebow might come back as a tight end, whether that be as a Taysom Hill kind of Swiss Army knife or just as a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll go more in depth with that when there's more news on it and if anything happens, along with more stuff after the draft, probably Saturday because tomorrow I'm just going to kind of wait for some news. I might do it tomorrow if there's a lot of news, but I feel like a lot of big stuff isn't going to happen until later. So with that, we're going to select all teams, do one round, turn that down kind of slow so I can talk, and then take out Rams, Seahawks, Texans, and the Chiefs because I'm not going all the way down that far. So, all right, we're just going to close out of this. And no trades before the draft starts. Here we go. All right, so number one, we got Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is going to get drafted to the Jaguars. Personally, I don't think he's going to turn out as well as everyone says he will. I just kind of think, with the way everyone looks and the way past draft prospects have been where they're this hyped, they don't always turn out to be as well as they are. Mitch Trubisky was supposed to be amazing. Johnny Manziel was supposed to be amazing. Sam Darnold was supposed to be an amazing quarterback. And not to say Sam Darnold still can't improve or Mitchell Trubisky can't still improve, but they just were overhyped, and I think that's kind of what he is. So I kind of think he's just not going to be up to speed by the time it kind of happens, and I just think he's going to fall behind. So at number 2, we have Zach Wilson. Let's just pull up some stats on him quickly. He's good. I'm not going to say he's the best quarterback in the draft, obviously, but he has some pretty good stats. He's 6'3", 210. There aren't a lot on him. It says he's untested under pressure, so I guess that's kind of hard. But I just kind of think he could be good for the Jets, but also the Jets don't have a habit of doing good with quarterbacks. But again, with Robert Saleh there, I do think that they're going to he could do pretty good. I do think that team's defense is going to have a major turnaround with Robert Saleh there, as he was the defensive coordinator for the Niners, and I'm very surprised they let him go. At number 3, now Justin Fields is obviously a lot of people's logical picks, but they've been scouting Trey Lance and where is he? Mac Jones. I'm going to say they're going with Mac Jones on this one. I just feel like him or not Micah Parsons. I want to keep saying Micah Parsons. Him or Trey Lance have just been talking a lot more to the Niners, and they have more of a connection. So I just think that will be good for them. At pick number 4, I'm not really sure where I want to go with this because I don't think there's a lot of teams that could use a tight end here. So I don't think it's going to be Kyle Pitts. But I think it could be a corner here. Or a cornerback or a safety. But I also think they could go on the line. So they might take this guy that I'm not going to butcher his name. They could also take Micah Parsons. They might honestly draft Kyle Pitts because you might want to build up. I don't know what I want to say here. I think we're going to draft Kyle Pitts. I think you want to build up your offense as Matt Ryan is on his way out as a quarterback just because he's getting older. And I feel like you want to build up your offense now because when he gets to that point where he's going to retire, you want to be able to draft a quarterback when your defense isn't performing well and whoever you have as a backup isn't doing amazing. And then after that happens, then you can draft a quarterback and then you can work on your defense from there. So with the Bengals, God, I think the Bengals are going to draft, I don't know. I think I could see them. They need a tackle, and they need a. I'm gonna say Rashawn Slater. A lot of people don't have him going to later in the draft, but I think they need a tackle, and that's what they're gonna go with. That, or they're going to go with, dang it, that's who I wanted right there. Okay, hold on, we're gonna go back, because I messed up there. So hold on, that's on me. I did not mean to make that mistake. But no, I think he's pretty good. I still don't know how to pronounce his name from Oregon, so I'm not going to try. But I've heard a lot of good things about him, and he looks really good on tape. Again, it's very hard to assess NFL players until they're in the NFL because you can't, you don't know how good they're really going to be until they're in the NFL. So, you never know. For the sake of everything, like I said before, I'm not going to do trades right now because I don't really think a lot of trades are going to happen. A lot of people are saying the Giants could trade down or the Panthers could trade down. I just don't see it happening. I don't see a lot of teams trading down. I've seen Giants and New England trading, Carolina and Washington trading. I just don't understand why they would do that because, I don't know. I just can't see it happening. But yeah, I just think it's one of those things. The Jets don't have a lot of picks either. So with the Niners have some picks. So they might try to buff up their they might draft a corner because Richard Sherman's gone. He's in free agency, or did he get signed? I don't remember. I think so. What do I think with the Falcons? The Falcons, I think, are gonna draft. Yeah, I could see them drafting Kyle Pitts just because Kyle Pitts is really good. I love Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, I'm a Florida Gators fan, so Kyle Pitts was a big part of that offense. Being that they're the high school or college football team I watched the most this year. Bengals, I think, are going to go with Penny Sewell. I'm not going to try to butcher that again. I could see Jamar Chase going to the Dolphins as that's who Tua wanted. But I could also see Jalen Waddle going there. I just don't think Jalen Waddle kind of has as many skills as Jamar Chase. Maybe it could happen. Maybe they could shock the world and do that. But I don't know. With the Lions, I think they're going to go with Micah Parsons. They need a lot of things right now, especially losing Kenny Golladay to the Giants. But I think a linebacker is going to be their biggest need right now. Panthers, they're going to draft Justin Fields. I mean, to me, I feel like that's a given. They just got rid of Teddy Bridgewater. They have, I want to say Zach Wilson. I'm thinking too much about this draft. They only have Sam Darnold, so I don't really think they're going to try to stick with him. And if he falls, they might draft Kyle Pitts. I don't know. I just don't see that happening. Broncos are probably going to draft a tackle. Whether it be, I think it's going to be Rashad Slater or Christian Darsaw. Because I just don't see... this guy. Actually, no, I'm going to go with this guy. Vera Tucker. I've heard a lot of good things. I was wondering where he was. I thought he was higher. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and I think he's pretty good. Dallas, probably going to go with... I don't know if they're going to go with... They're not going with wide receivers. I think they're going to go... They might go with Rashad Slater. Or I think we're going to say Rashad Slater for them. The Giants, I think, are going to go with Devontae Smith. If he falls this far, they do have a lot of other needs, but I feel like right now, if he's available, you have to take him. You can't let him fall. Especially to the Eagles, who need a wide receiver. You can't let him fall to your rival in the NFC East. The Eagles, not sure why it says they need a quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is honestly an amazing quarterback. He's done a lot great for that team this year, so for them to just... For a lot of that Eagles organization to just discredit him is kind of rude because he literally helped them beat the Saints, and not a lot of teams beat the Saints, so you can't really discredit the guy for being bad. It was his first year, and he wasn't really expecting to start anyway. He was a backup that they drafted, so I mean, good on him for what he's doing. And if he gets traded, I hope he goes to a team that wants him more, just to kind of prove that he's better. With this, I think they're gonna go with Jalen Waddle. They need a wide receiver, and if Giants take Devontae Smith, they're just gonna draft Jalen Waddle. If Devontae Smith drops, and Kyle Pitts drops, and say the Giants draft Kyle Pitts, then they'll draft Devontae Smith. But if he goes higher, I think it'll always be Jalen Waddle. The Chargers, I don't know what the Chargers are gonna draft. I think they're gonna draft a corner, so it could be Patrick Surtain, but I also think it could be, I probably butchered that. I think it could be J.C. Horn from South Carolina. But I also don't see Surtain falling that far. So I think we're going to pick him going to the Chargers just because I think that's the better fit for them. God, this takes a long time to draft. Again, if any other position falls, they might draft them. Vikings, probably a tackle, so probably Christian Darsaw, because it seems like they need a lot on defense, but Patriots. Now, a lot of people think they're going to draft defense. I'm going to go with Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to go to them. If for some reason Justin Fields gets taken higher and the Panthers don't draft Justin Fields and they draft someone else, then I could see the Patriots getting Mac Jones instead of the Niners, unless he goes to Carolina. So who knows? The Cardinals tight end. Cardinals need an edge rusher a little more, but I could see them going with Christian Barmore, just because I don't know. I just could see him working good on that team, not having with having JJ Watt on that team now. The Raiders need a couple things, and they could honestly be up there for Super Bowl contenders in a couple years if they play their cards right. What do they need? They need a safety. I could see them taking a safety. There's a lot of thing they could use or take right now. I see them taking an edge, but I think they're gonna take the TCU safety. Just because they need a safety, and plus I feel like their defense could really benefit from a safety. But again, that's my opinion. They have 17 picks. Wow. Oh no, that's remaining picks in this draft. I don't know why I thought. Okay, never mind. Pick number 18. I don't know. With the Dolphins need a lot of things. Again, we already drafted the Dolphins, Jamar Chase. So I could see them going for an edge now because they need an edge. So I could see them going for Kwity Paye. I probably butchered that name. I'm sorry. But yeah, I could see them going with that. Washington, I think, is set at quarterback. I honestly think Taylor Heineke did pretty good against the Bucs in that playoff game without Alex Smith. So I honestly could see that going pretty well with keeping him. I could see them drafting probably J.C. Horn here. They could use a corner too. But let's see. The Bears need a lot of things. The Bears have Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, but I don't really know. I think they want to wait a year until they're higher up in the draft to take a quarterback. So I could see them taking. Greg Newsome, because they do need a cornerback. Yeah, we're gonna say, yeah, I think they could take him. The Colts need a. What do the Colts need? They need a wide receiver, a tackling. I think they're set at a lot of that stuff. I don't know. Maybe they would take tackling and edge. I don't know. I could see them taking Walker Little if they really need a tackle, I guess. Yeah, I could say Walker Little. Who we got next? Titans. Titans do need wide receivers. I think they're gonna go with Rashad Bat. They could go with Elijah Moore though. We're gonna say Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. The Jets have another pick. I don't know. I could see them going with Caleb Farley because they do need a cornerback. I could see a lot of the rest of this draft being defense for them, being how Robert Saleh is. Now the Steelers need a quarterback. I guess, yeah, Big Ben's kind of on his way out, but I think you'd have to wait a year. Like, I'm trying to think what quarterback you'd be able to take right now. There's not a lot of quarterbacks up there anymore. Yeah, I mean, unless you want to go down really far for a QB, I could see them drafting probably a tackle or a guard this year. A lot of edges left. I could see Taven Jenkins, or maybe honestly going with the linebacker from Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Jeremiah. I'm not butchering that. LA again. I don't know. LA could go for a lot of things. They drafted a quarterback already, so we're gonna take that off the table. Tackling a safety. I could see Taven Jenkins here for a tackle. Yeah. So the Browns wide receiver. Or no, Browns don't need a wide receiver. Yeah, I don't know. With OBJ, I don't know how healthy he's going to be, and I do think they could benefit from one or two more receivers. I don't know. He's kind of far down here, but I think Kadarius Toney is really underrated. Again, I do like Florida, so I did watch him play a lot, and I think he was really good. But, that's also just my opinion. So, Baltimore, I don't know what Baltimore's going to take here. Baltimore needs a wide receiver, an edge, and a tackle. I could see Rashad Bateman finally going. And Baltimore does have another pick down the line, so I could see them drafting an edge down there. The Saints, wide receiver, yeah, I could see them. Probably Terrence Marshall Jr. I could see a lot of wide receivers going now, honestly. But I could also see Asante Samuel Jr. going to the Saints. Because I don't think the Saints need receivers. I think they're pretty set. Minus they don't have Emmanuel Sanders, so maybe, yeah, they would actually. I could be wrong there. They might draft a wide receiver like Terrence Marshall Jr., so I could be wrong. Green Bay. Wide receiver. I don't think Green Bay needs wide receivers. I could see Nick Bolton going to them. I could see them drafting a linebacker. The Bills, I could see them taking this Jason Owia, maybe? Yeah, I could see them taking him. Getting down here, this is where it's kind of like I'm not as rock solid on what I'm talking about because I don't have as much research on the linemen as I do like the quarterbacks and stuff. Now I think Jalen Phillips, Jalen Phillips, I think that's how you pronounce it, would go to them. And the Bucks, not sure why it says quarterback because Brady's still with them. I guess because Brady's only with them for so long. Brady is amazing quarterback. I think though if he suffers one severe injury, like Alex Smith did, I don't think he will come back. He might, but I feel like he's had such an illustrious career that I just don't think it would be worth it for his body to come back if he did something as severe as Alex Smith. So I could see them drafting probably defense. All of their offense came back. So I could see them drafting Elijah Molden for a safety. Let's see. All right, let's see what they said my mock draft is. All right, A+, 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 A minus, B minus, B minus, A+. Really, they gave me a D+ for that pick? Okay. C plus for that one. I mean, they needed tackles. Fair. Okay, that was a pretty good pick. I don't know why that still says Macintosh right there, guys. Sorry about that. Trey Lance, okay, so a lot of my picks are pretty good. J.C. Horn is a B. Walker Little's a C minus. The linebacker from Notre Dame's a B. Kadarius Toney, yeah, I see that's a C plus, but I do think he's really good. So, other than that, though, overall, yeah, here we go. Okay. C plus, okay. C plus, A plus, A plus. I mean, granted, I didn't do a whole draft, so really, yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that. If you guys did enjoy me doing this mock draft, please do leave a like and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow or Saturday to talk about how the draft went. Yeah.